Hey everybody, how you doing, Amybeth?
Hey, Andrew, how are you? Coast to coast, right? East
That's
Coast,
right.
West Coast.
East Coast, West Coast. Is it getting warm out there? Has it been raining? It's been raining, right?
It's been raining for like a month straight.
Wow, a month.
No, today was actually a little bit warmer, but it's been in the 50s and low 60s. It has not warmed up yet.
Crazy.
So normally we would, it would be like beach season almost, 70s, 80s, but I
Starting to
think
get
next week it's going
starting
to
to
bring.
get warm here in LA. So,
Yeah.
but just to remind everyone who's coming in that today our live event is Adobe Firefly Video with me, Andrew Kavanagh, and Amybeth Menendez, both Adobe community experts and beyond. As you can see here, Amybeth is Adobe certified instructor. And that's her website, right? Learn Adobe
Yep.
123. Yep.
Mhm.
I do digital art and Photoshop and Lightroom. Well, it used to be Photoshop and Lightroom teacher or tutor, but I'm also now tutoring Adobe Express and Adobe Firefly sometimes. So yeah, it's pretty fun. Let's see, and then let's see. So welcome everybody. Let us know where you're watching from, and then we'll start soon. Don't be shy.
How's the weather been in Cali?
Yeah, it's starting to get warmer. So I think today's like 87. It was like 79, I think, yesterday.
Oh,
But it's very weather here is very schizophrenic. So
yeah.
it goes up for a couple of days and then it goes down.
I feel like New York has been that way too, but it's been mostly down and mostly gray and mostly raining.
And I'm pretty happy by the fact that like we do get heat wave weeks, but they last like a week and that's it. And then it's back to kind of more pleasant.
I think I saw hi from the San Francisco Bay
Yeah.
Area.
Digital diva. So I will. We got lots to go over. So you want to jump into your Firefly, Amy Beth?
Sure, give me a second.
Yep.
Okay,
Looks
I
good.
am ready. So
Okay.
how
Yep, looks good.
okay, so how is everybody doing tonight? Andrew and I are gonna demonstrate some of our favorite workflows in Adobe Firefly. So today we're gonna focus on text to image and Adobe Firefly video. So what I'm gonna start off by doing in Firefly, so this is Adobe Firefly on Chrome, is I'm going to open up the text to image. You could see I was
Nice.
already prompting and playing, just seeing what I was getting. Firefly these days also has different models, right? So there's Firefly Ultra, which is superior high quality and will eat up all of your generative credits.
Good. Okay.
I'm not sure the exact number, but I know it's a lot more when you do Firefly Ultra. But if you're producing large format or you need a super high, quality print, then that's what I would go with. And then you also have a choice between Firefly 4 and the previous model, Firefly 3.
Good.
Adobe recently has also added different image models inside of Adobe Firefly, but they are not the only the only image creation model inside of Adobe Firefly that is commercially safe for use and will have your content credentials attached to it is Adobe Firefly. So, if you do when you do launch these, depending on what your output is for, Adobe does not guarantee that these images are commercially safe for reproduction in print, etc. And myself personally, I am in the print world, so I try and stay with everything that is commercially safe for when I'm designing for print. So I figured I would. So when I'm starting off with videos, sometimes I will start by taking a prompt, and I've already got a prompt pasted in here. So let's give it a spin. Again, I'm using Firefly 4. You have all these different options here. You can have prompt suggestions. I usually keep my prompt suggestions turned on. You can also, so this is just saying that I have unlimited access. And then I'm just going to hit generate. Generate by default gives you, I have my visual intensity, and I just basically have all the default settings. I'm not using a reference style or a composition reference or choosing any particular
Oh,
style.
nice.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get something magical and mystical, glowing forest. So then, so let's go through them. I really like that one. She looks a little
Yeah.
I kind of like the mushrooms here and the little hanging light lamps. I don't know, for some reason I like
The
this.
lanterns are nice though, the way they kind of go from close up to,
Right, you could really see that depth,
yeah, depth of
and then the
field.
haze into where she's walking. So what I'm gonna do, so what I usually do is after I pick an image, and if I want to bring it into Firefly Video, there are lots of different ways that you could do this. You could download it and then go to the Firefly Video on your browser, or you can just say edit and you could say generate video. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna open Firefly Video and it's going to add it to my first frame
Nice.
in the video. So then I could choose what resolution, how many. I think by default for Firefly Video, you only have the choice of 24 frames per second,
Yeah.
but I can choose my aspect ratio. I'm going to leave it on widescreen, and I'm just going to leave it on maybe I'll just leave it static. Now I'm going to take, now that I've prompted my image, I am going to take my second prompt, and this is a prompt to animate my Crystal Grove, lighted here. So I'm just going to paste this prompt in here, and I'm
Nice.
going to say animate with the drifting mist. The fireflies are blinking on and off. The trees is shimmering slightly, and the hooded figure walks away, and as the lanterns bob in the air. So let's take a look and see how Adobe Firefly does. So you get this cute little guy, hair blowing in the wind, right? Keep the browser open.
Cute.
Yeah, we should give him a name. Is
Yeah.
it a he? Is it a
I think my
she?
friend Heinrich was all wanted to know what their names were.
Yeah, we should inquire, or there should be some sort of like contest. There should be names because they sort of are the Firefly mascots. And then you could see the generation, and it looks like it already created my video. So let's.
Oh, the
Oh,
walking is good too. Yeah.
yeah, the walking is really good. So let me just replay that again. Did the shadow move? Yeah, actually, the shadow's moving with the figure. The lights are dispersing. They could be like little firefly bugs.
I always wish these were just longer though. Like
I know.
10 seconds would be great. 5 seconds
Right.
is kind of too much of
I
a
would use
pain.
more credits for a longer prompt.
Yeah.
Do we want to compare it to another Firefly model? Or you want to just stick to Firefly?
Barbara says, "Wow, that's beautiful."
Oh, thank you, Barbara. Did you want to try another Firefly model and compare it?
Sure, if you want.
Okay. I mean, just for, so here I'm using see, and it says right here, only Adobe models are commercially safe. So
Right.
obviously I wouldn't use this for any sort of like B-roll or commercial production, but maybe if I was just generating with an image that I created for Adobe and it was just like an Instagram post or something like that, I would feel comfortable generating a video using a different model inside of Firefly, so I don't have to jump in and out of programs depending on what I was using it for. So something for like my personal use, that's a little different. But I'm a big stickler, being that I'm in the print and publishing world, for content authenticity and commercially safe image generation when it comes to reproducing. Although I do, you need to know what else is out there to compare it to. So I do use other image generators. Okay, so let's see what.
How different it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, this one has.
More animation of the butterflies.
I like that. I have to say, I kind of like that one. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it's fun, different.
It's fun to see the difference, right? I didn't even tell it. Butterflies flying. All right. Well, that was cool. Did you want to share your screen, or did you want me to?
Sure. I'll jump in.
Okay.
Now, real quick before I begin, usually do this at the beginning, but I will do it now. Is first I want to just first give a shout out to StreamYard. So StreamYard makes all this possible, where I can stream to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube. And of course, YouTube is where I will keep the recordings afterwards. So thank you, StreamYard. And then also a shout out to BenQ. I'm a BenQ ambassador. BenQ monitors always accurate and consistent colors. And as an example, one of the ones I have is the BenQ PD3225U, a 4K Thunderbolt 3 monitor, beautiful. So Thunderbolt 3 compatible, MBook mode, display P3. Colors are tonal control for Mac devices. Of course, you can use like an adapter for PCs, but very beautiful monitors, always accurate and consistent colors, BenQ. And let me share my screen. And then Barbara had said with your image, excellent, that's even better. So let me go to my screen.
And I'm not a BenQ ambassador, but I love my BenQ monitor. So
nice.
Yeah, it's really good for color viewing.
There we go. Add the stage.
Is that me?
Oh, no, that's me. What it is StreamYard changed this one thing where you have to remove the previous person. So I thought it used to be you could just click on it and you go to it. I don't know why they changed that. It used to be much more kind of fast. So whatever, 1 second of a mistake. It's all right. Okay, so here we are. And so the one thing I wanted to try was, as Amybeth pointed out, we are in the Firefly video, but there's also the VO option. Click that open. Then the resolution. So one thing that, to be aware of is it kind of defaults to 540p. If you want good quality, I would always choose 1080p, but for the sake of speed, I'm probably going to choose 720p. I'm going to set it to square. 24 frames per second is the defaults. And then I could choose different options for the shot size, camera angle, or motion, but I'm just going to let it be. And then for me, instead of using a first frame reference image, I'm just going to directly put in a text prompt to show how it will generate a video right from the text prompt. And this is about a face composed of radiant beams and glowing light. I always like surreal type of imagery. So see how that does as is. And then what my plan is after this image is generated, I did create, and I do like to do this, I created some other static images like in Leonardo or Crea. And so I was going to upload the images that are generated with the similar prompt and then generate the video from that. So I'll show you that next. So I'm not sure if they did some tweaking recently, but I've noticed that the speed of the videos is not as fast as it was a couple weeks ago. So any questions? Just have to entertain you somehow. But it's halfway done. Overall it's pretty fast in general, but it still takes a little time. But just so you know, the prompt is a luminous face composed entirely of radiant beams, glowing light, and there it is.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, and I said featuring delicate Asian female facial features. So I hit that. So it's not really encapsulating the kind of made out of light concept. It's more like just a Asian woman with some cosmic planets behind or something. So what I'm going to do is, seeing the description in the prompt, let's see, voting soft nebulae swirling. So I'm just going to grab the last part, the soft nebulae and stardust swirling around her, copy that, get rid of the rest, and then I'm going to go to frame. So I click on add frame, and then I'm going to go to today's presentation folder, and I've got a couple of different ones. So I'm going to use this as my frame. So I'm wondering, I like the effect, the colors, the kind of surrealism of it, but I'm wondering if it will also force the composition into being like a side portrait. So we will have to see. So choose that. I just say open. You can see it there as the first frame. And then I go to the prompt area, and I'm just going to say, well, I'm just going to say face made of light. Soft nebulae started swirling around her and hit generate. So then that is now choosing from the reference image. It's set to square aspect ratio, 720p resolution. Like I said, if I was going to output this for social or my website, I'd probably choose 1080p. But I'm curious to see how different it'll be with a reference image to begin with. So generate.
Hopefully it should pick up the characteristics.
Yeah, I'm hoping it picks up also the color scheme. I like the kind of blues and the warm golden orange colors. So maybe a mixture of those color with the bit more of a surreal style. Last one just seemed kind of more like a regular portrait with the kind of cosmic background. Hopefully it'll jump. It's about a quarter way, going on halfway. Should jump. It usually jumps, but good to see you here, Barbara. Any questions?
Now you have me looking through my Leonardo library.
Yeah, and Kriya is a good one too. So
I love Leonardo, actually. I like Leonardo, the flux, where it just...
That's right. Yeah, the sensibility of it I like the most.
They just actually came out with a new model today that you could upload like 4 different reference images, and then...
Oh, that's nice. 4. That's
pretty 4, and then you could have them interact with your main reference image. So like,
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Leonardo's good, and then there's like I said, Kriya is pretty good, and then a lot of people in my AI art and digital art group, they have done some really good stuff with Midjourney, of course.
Yeah, I have Midjourney, and then I also one of my favorite ones for consistent character. You know, because I do some branding for a bulldog rescue, and so one of their mascots, like we try to, you know, like depending on what holiday it is or whatever fundraiser that we're trying to do, it's called Design. It used to be called Styler, and its consistent character is like spot on. So
is it Design with a Z?
With a Z, DZINE. And that's the one that I also got like the image to videos before Firefly came out with.
Yeah.
That.
So I'm not sure if this is stuck, but I'm not seeing the preview move too much. So
you broke it, Andrew.
Really?
Yeah.
Really stuck there. So I might go and just kind of showcase some of the images that that I had worked on. So yeah, these were from I can't remember if it was from Kriya or from Leonardo. I think these are from Leonardo. Pretty wild, right?
Mm.
And then there's that one, which I think is from Kriya. I think that's from Kriya. And then there was these ones too. Here it is. I kind of like that glowing from the inside outward. And that's kind of cool. That, I think, I was surprised. I just found out recently that if you, I'm a big fan of Perplexity AI for search and research. And it's really good for getting text prompts itself. But I realized that if you word it a certain way, it can also create images. So I didn't know that you could generate images in Perplexity AI, but it seems to be a new function now. So this was created in that.
The pay for ChatGPT makes pretty good images as
Yeah.
well.
I think everyone was doing those like kids, like
No,
adults. They
we
were
were
now.
doing the accessory packs.
That's it. That too.
I couldn't resist.
That's this one I like. This is
Oh
Leonardo.
yeah, that one's
Yeah.
great.
Okay, so let's go back to here. Yeah, sadly, I think this is stuck. I'm wondering if I can switch down to 540p and then, well, you can't then hit generate. Well, maybe I'll copy that again. I'm just hit cancel and delete. I'm going to copy the prompt. I switched down to 540p. Click on that again, and I'll choose that frame, and then face made of light, something like that. And then hopefully this will be faster since it's a smaller size, smaller resolution. Is this one stuck too? Okay. Just did a refresh. Okay, I'm gonna have to get out. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the room and let you do your next images. I'm not sure what's going on with mine, but Lisa let me do one image, even though I wasn't pleased with it. Okay, so let me remove my stage at yours. Okay, there you're back into your Firefly.
Okay. Well, hi everybody. So I figured, I would follow your lead and just take a prompt and also upload a starter frame for an image and see where it goes. And this is just an image that was created on Leonardo with a prompt, but we're going to see if we could get it to move. So it's got a nice little fantasy garden suspended in time. I seem to be in the like fantasy garden kind of mood these days.
Nice.
And I'm just going to also maybe I'll keep it on 540p just for speed purposes.
Yeah.
And then let's just change my aspect ratio to square. And then let's give it a zoom in kind of, or I don't know. Well, we'll try zoom in, see what kind of effect we get with that. And then I'm just going to hit generate. So as you can see also, I've got a starter frame.
But it's a new text prompt, right? It's a new text prompt.
Yep, a new text prompt. So this fantasy garden has blossoms in it. So and pink glitter floats. So and lanterns. Seem to be, just in the light weekend, turning off work, just sort of relaxing, just sort of want to like drift through my images. Oh, let's see. And it kind of,
it's smaller for sure, but it's,
yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. It did take, yeah. So the quality for this would not be good for anything but maybe an Instagram square or something like that. So I usually,
at least 720, yeah.
Yeah, at least for 722. But should we try another prompt?
Yeah, try it again with 720 and see.
Yeah, let's see what the difference is. So let's check. Let's compare all the different resolutions so we can actually see. So people have an idea before they spend their credits.
At least yours is moving the preview, so I'm hoping mine works next round.
Yeah, I mean, my feelings were that the video generation, maybe it has to do with how busy the servers are. Although, like, we should be on the same server, obviously. But I felt like since they released the new model of Adobe Firefly, oh yeah, so this is the 720, much smaller. Let's play this one. Looks pretty consistent, though, like with the imagery.
It's got a little bit more depth or detail, right?
Yeah, definitely. Let's just spin one more at 1080p.
1080, yeah.
Yeah. So Andrew and I were chatting, and we were just talking, not literally talking, but, chatting on Messenger. And I was telling him that one of my workflows when I'm storyboarding or trying to create different storyboards, like Sora, which is ChatGPT's video generator, actually has a storyboard feature where you could set different scenes and then generate the videos, and it sort of puts the storyboard together. But a lot of things, what I'll do here is I'll start with my first scene, and then I'll generate my video, and then I screenshot a picture of my last frame for my video, and I'll use that to begin my next video. So it's sort of like continues. So like along with Andrew's comment about like trying to make the videos longer, this way, like hopefully it'll pick up with, where I ended as my start frame for the next one. So that's just a workaround for like storyboarding videos. Oh, see, that one's nice and big. Yep, see, small, medium, large. Oh, and you can see the flowers.
Like taking you into a sense of depth of field walk, that's for sure.
Yeah, that one's really pretty. So I was happy with that one. But okay. Should I go to another prompt?
Sure. I'm just hoping that mine works when I jump back.
Okay, so I'm going to go back into generate image. Let's go to text to image. Gotta love this in dark mode too, right?
Yeah, it's nice.
I know. I really like it in dark mode. And okay, of course, I generated a bunch of prompts before this session. So I'm just going to keep this one, a vast underground cavern glowing with lava rivers and red crystals. Dragons carved from smoke. This one's a little complicated. Let's see what kind of image Firefly makes from this. Oh, and I have it on square.
Nice.
Ooh. Now that would be interesting to see if the Firefly video, what it would do with this. Sort of magical, sort of a little like the dragon on his wrath. Could be a good graphic novel, right?
Yeah.
And you gotta like the detail. I feel like the image generation in Firefly is vastly improved. I really like that.
Oh one. Yeah, Model 4 now. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like this. I'm gonna take this into video, and again, it will put that for my start frame, and then let me get my video prompt for this image. And you can go into any sort of like prompting, and you could, you don't have to be eloquent. I always look at Andrew's pictures and I'm like, how does he come up with these prompts? Because the pictures are just so beautiful. A lot of times, like I'll just start off in either ChatGPT or Gemini, and I'll voice to text, my ideas and ask them to, prompt them out for me for Firefly video or, an image text to image, and it'll give you pretty good suggestions. And I personally don't feel that there's any shame in using assistants for prompting. Oh, this is kind of nice. I mean, the dragon is still. Lava pulses and flows, smoke, dragons.
And then Digital Diva SF asks, can you adjust the length of the video? And that's what we were saying before. We were kind of stuck with the 5-second duration.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So right now, but what I could do is, I could take my video all the way to the end, and then I could stop it right, right there. And so that was my last frame. And so then if I screenshot this, right, and then put that in my, let me close this out, as my next frame, right? And then, so lava pulses and flows to drag in, flaps his wings and blows fire.
Coloring's nice in this, yeah.
And let's see if it'll continue from my last frame. And then I could put them together in either Adobe Express or Premiere Pro, whatever my video, you can go right from Firefly into Adobe Express, so you could just use them. So that's one way, that's a workaround right now. I would imagine that they'll come out with different lengths of video.
Yeah, cool.
And there, all right. So that's our last frame, right? That's where we started. Oh, it's blowing smoke. He's not spewing fire, but the fire is spewing. But, I could see the continuation there. Goes into there, and then I could, I'd have to get but that's just one way to keep the momentum going,
That's cool though. It's like panning outwards. Fire's
panning inwards, panning outwards. I could change the angle. I could move it right, move it left. So, all right, Andrew, back to you in the studio.
Okay, I'll give it a try, but not sure what it's going to do. So let's see. Okay. So I'm back in the Firefly video. So I'm going to go to that image that we did see. So this time I'm going to change the quality 1080p. Instead of square, I'm going to make it widescreen. I'm going to choose that goldfish helmet image.
I like that goldfish helmet.
Yeah. And then just fish swim around inside the fishbowl helmet. Hit generate. And then hopefully it'll go beyond just the beginning area. If not, I don't know what yeah.
I do love using the generative video for storyboarding, though, like for making scenes.
And in general, any feedback as to any idea why they wouldn't generate your video? And I think it keeps taking my credits, which is frustrating.
Oh.
But it's like failed the last 3 attempts. I think it's been. Yeah.
Oh, so I can see my Firefly Pro subscription there in my monthly credits.
Where do you see it?
So if I go to my account, I could just see my monthly generative credits, which are now, it said that I had almost 1,200. It says my monthly credits are 11,525. I don't know where that number comes from.
Right.
It's so strange because different people have different amounts of credits with the same subscription.
Yeah, like mine started at 8,850. and now it's at 7,100.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem to be working. I'm not having a good day with this, so it seems to be just stuck at the beginning of the preview. So you got the little, animated character here, and then you got the preview down in the timeline area, but it doesn't seem to take beyond the first kind of quarter section. I don't know. Yeah, I'm going to cancel that. Just see if I fish one around inside. A fishbowl helmet. Inside. I think I was successful with just the prompt itself. So let me see. So here's just with the prompt. I'll do 720. Generate. Maybe not, though. It just seems to start off and then it stops for me today.
It needs to restart.
Yeah, maybe I have to restart the whole browser or my computer. I don't know, but that's not going to happen during the live. So I think it might be the rest of the time is going to be your show.
Okay. Well, I'll go back. I was looking through my generation history, and this is one that I was just practicing with.
Let me just get out here.
Okay.
So. Okay, go back. Okay, remove, add to stage. Okay.
Okay. So hi everybody, we're back. Again, I really love bringing images to life as well. So this is just a prompt. This was actually generated with video. So what I like when you go to your generation history, and I'll show you, so either when you're in the text prompt, you could go to view all, and you could see your generation history. And you have your choice of looking at all your images or your videos. So here I could see all of the different images that I've generated. I was trying to do a New York subway scene. This was actually a really cool video that I did for here. I had used a starter frame of New York City, the Brooklyn Bridge at night. And then, oh shit, let me go back. And then a end frame of New York City in the morning. And I wanted to create a cinematic time lapse of the Brooklyn Bridge transforming from night until dawn, So let's just take a look. And this was done with Adobe Firefly. I'm just going to put this on 720, and I'm going to hit generate and see what different ones I had.
Okay. Yeah, yours seems to be moving just fine. So.
Yeah, because I can see the little progress bar down here.
Yeah. I mean, I tried 4 times, 5 times, didn't seem to take.
Is your generate image working?
Yeah, maybe I'll try that at least.
Yeah.
Have some fun with that.
All right. So let's see. So gave it from night and it's transitioning. So I really like the way that it does these videos like that.
Yeah.
And yeah. Again, if anybody knows anything about me, I like bulldogs. I do a lot of stuff for the bulldog rescue. So I was trying to do 2 bulldogs pulling up to a club, right? And this one, that one's horrific. That one did not work at all.
Right?
Oh my God, yeah. But I did get some good results with Adobe Firefly. Let's see. This was an Easter one that I was trying to do just with the start frame. There they are, driving along a country road. You know, so there's a lot of different fun that you could have with this, but let's just, for shoots and giggles, I'm going to go back to text to image. I'm going to generate an image, and I'm going to bring it back to the old bulldogs wearing gold sunglasses and velvet tracksuits, heading out to party because, it's Friday night. Oh, see, that's club party. That one's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So let me see if I can get a video prompt for this. I'm just going to say, can you video prompt this? And what I like about, just Adobe Firefly now is that if anybody has tried to create animals or even human hands or anything with any kind of text writing, oh, I like this one, a little fang. It's got the velvet tracksuit. That's pretty funny. I like the one with the sunglasses. I think I'm going to take this into Firefly and give it a spin. So let me take this into generative video. And so now I have my, I'm going to do this high res. And I think it could still take a aspect ratio of 1:1. And I'm going to see how well it does with this prompt. So it describes the bulldog, and so the bulldog's jowls will bounce. I don't think it's going to do a good job with that. I'm going to say the bulldog steps. The bulldog steps in slow motion. The night sky. Yeah, let's not ask it to do too much with it. But let's see what it does with my image.
Oh, while it's doing that, can you go to your profile and just click so I can see what it looks like? See if
sure. So you could see this is my personal account. I do subscribe to Adobe Firefly Pro, and see, Andrew. So then, this is when my credits. This is when my credits reset, but it doesn't. English.
Yeah, mine says it's going to reset June 8th, but I'm just not sure why it's not working in general.
Yeah, but see, so I don't know how they come up with this number, but it's weird if I go to my Creative Cloud account, and then I click on manage my account. I don't, there's no like inclination that it says that I subscribe to Firefly Pro. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Manage my account. But I know that I subscribe to it because my credit's there, and you don't have, but just in general on my account page, it doesn't specifically say Firefly Pro. It just says included in your plan. So it's kind of hard to tell. Well, anyway, let's see, this bulldog's going to the club. Oh, he's walking in slow motion. There we go.
I like the floating lights behind too, right?
Yeah.
The spinning lights.
I'm okay with that. I like the zoom out. It's because I think I had the zoom out. I definitely said slow motion, right? It's the bulldog steps, maybe in dance steps. But that one was pretty good. It's pretty funny.
Cool.
But we can go back to some fantasy prompting. Let me see. I'm just trying to find my little text edit thing. Yeah. So what does yours say, Andrew? Or just for it says 8,000?
Yeah. Well, I did also try to do static image, which it did work, so I can show those at least. And then I went up to my account, and then it says I have 7,100 left of 8,850, and then it resets on June 8th. But yeah, it doesn't state exactly what kind of Firefly plan, even though I know it's Pro.
All right, so let me get rid of this. Whoops, cancel. You're much more. How come it won't let me delete this?
Which one?
My
the
reference
frame?
image. My reference image.
Yeah. If you hover.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just go back to a fantasy mirrored lake oracle with waters rippling slowly outward. Runes glow and rotate. And let's just see what this is going to do. So let's change this to let's see it actually different camera angle, unless people want to see more bulldogs.
Sure.
I could look at bulldogs on it. But one of the things that I do, part of my freelance work, is I have a friend that redoes video arcade games. So we take like old game themes and then put like a modern twist on them. So I do a lot of that in like my AI image generators, because they're just one-off for like people's houses, and they'll be like, I want like an X-Men shooter game, theme.
Sure.
I just recently did one for WrestleFest, which was an 80s arcade game.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun generate. It's a lot of composition though. It's a lot of like just generating images and compositing them like in Photoshop, and then using different smoke brushes and lots of different effects. A lot of what you do too, Andrew. You're a compositor as well. So
cool.
Yeah. But that was a lot of fun. Ooh, there's the circle oracle, a mirrored lake oracle. There you go.
Pans upward towards the moon.
Yeah, towards the moon.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I wonder if in the future they'll let us add like audio or music tracks to these.
I was thinking of that nobody has that yet, that it actually generates it with sound at the same time.
I mean, you can do it in Adobe Express, but I mean, it'd be nice to be able to do it right here in Firefly. Yeah.
No, you could say like the music in the background is, the water rippling and
right.
That would be nice if it would do everything at the same time.
Yeah, like both. You could do sound effects, and then you could also say add music, and then there'd be a music options. Yeah.
Yeah.
I found out recently that in Express, I used to think that when you went to add audio and you went to the different sections like ambient or jazz or country, that the little kind of options of like 4 or 5 was all you had. And then I clicked on like a see more or something and it expanded from like say 5 options to like 150 for some of them. So there's a lot more than you might expect for each different genre of music.
Right.
Pretty nice.
But yeah, and they just recently came out with boards, right?
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Well, should I jump over and just
go ahead?
Some statics, show some static stuff?
Give it one more shot.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work for the video.
To my prompts so I can pull some mystical prompts out.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to do the video, but at least it might do the static. Okay, so here's one where I did, put a portrait prompt in. I got these. So these are pretty nice. Problem is I like these, and then I went to what you did before. I went to edit, and I said generate video, and then it brought me here, and then I said, say swirling planets behind her. maybe change the resolution a bit. But then when I hit generate, it's the same idea where it starts off, you see the beginning of the preview, and then it just, this one looks like it might go though. It finally.
Maybe they were on lunch break.
That's right. the little Adobe Firefly gremlins behind the scene were on lunch break. So maybe this will be fun. Swirling planets behind. Okay, so there it is. So then if I hit the play, that's just a slow kind of pan.
That's pretty though.
Yeah, it's nice. And then, of course, if you go to the bottom right, you can hit download, and downloads pretty fast. So yeah, if I hover over the first frame, click the X, I can get rid of that. So what I might do is, let's see, open up, maybe I'll put one of these darker images and see what I can do. Yeah, this one's kind of cool. And then for this one, make it even higher, 1080p widescreen, and just say strange light swirls around the figure. And then hit, let me have to call back.
My phone just rang too. Were you calling me? But mine's on silent.
Okay, so now I'm not sure if it's going to take or not. I see the little bit of the preview. It looks like it might be slowly inching. Oh, there we go. So in the beginning, it was a little, I don't know why, stubborn, but now it seems to be working now. There we go. It's about more than a quarter, on its way to half. So one thing to point out is, and let me just kind of go to full screen view too. When it comes to the action prompt for what you wanted to do in the video, you don't have to be that scripted. So if you start off with a frame image for your reference, I just say like strange light swirls around the figure. So, I mean, you know, I'm just putting exactly what I want to happen, but I don't have to redefine what the image is. It's just putting down the action of what you want to happen in the video. So, and it's about 3/4, doing pretty good. Almost there. At least it's working, so that's good. So this one might be more surreal, my kind of style. So there's the original image, and it's in the widescreen aspect ratio. And then with that, that's pretty cool. It just kind of pans out. Oh, that's nice. So it pans out, and then you see the swirling kind of worlds in the end. Yeah. Yeah, pretty cool. Let's see. And then maybe I'll try one last thing. So one thing I'm curious about, though, is if you have a reference image like this, and then you put in something that's not related, how will it create it? So let's see. Colorful bubbles float around. Right, so the original image is not colorful. So I'm putting to say colorful bubbles float around the portrait. Just hit generate. It looks like it's going to work, which is good. Yeah, so that's set to 1080p resolution. It's a widescreen. This one might have got stuck again, though. I don't see it going beyond the beginning.
Well, her hair is blowing.
Yeah, the hair's blowing, but then the progress bar down at the bottom by the timeline doesn't seem to be moving so much.
Do we have any suggestions from the audience? What would they name this little yellow character?
Yeah.
Nope. I mean, is she blonde? Is she yellow?
Yellow, I think. There it goes. So now it's starting to work. So that's good. It's almost halfway. At least it's working. So that's good. But yeah, so this one is a test of putting in a action prompt for the video that's basically kind of the opposite of what the original image's aesthetic is. See how that goes. It's about halfway. It's on its way. Almost there. Now it's jumping a bit. Maybe I'll go to full screen view for the preview. Almost there, getting close. There we go. So slight different color. It's still kind of muted color, but it's a little introduction of a little bit more greens and blues. But then you lose the animation of the light swirls at the top, which I kind of liked. So if I go back to the previous one, you'll see it's not as colorful, but it has a nice swirl at the top, which I like. So
I'm a fan. I like that one.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find the text prompt. I just want to see. So that was originally made, let's say, Leonardo. So so let me try grabbing the prompt or similar prompt and then going back to text to image. And then
we can compare it as well.
Yeah, exactly. So widescreen, Firefly image 4. And then there it is, hyper-realistic digital art of a face formed from beams of light, background galactic scene. With several strange planets hovering, surrounded by glowing rings and stardust. Yeah, it's very different. Pretty cool, though. So click for larger view. That's pretty cool.
Still, the detail is really nice.
Yeah, it's gotten better for sure.
Yeah, and the
this
facial
one I like. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then just remember when you, I think you can do it for video now too, but whenever there's an image you like, so you click on it. If you go to the bottom right, you can save it to your favorites and then click and you can submit it to the gallery, which then submits it to the Firefly gallery, which if they like it, they agree with it, they can showcase it. It's kind of cute.
I believe I saw one of mine on the gallery, but I don't submit them. I don't submit them all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of hit or miss.
Yeah.
So jump back. So yeah, it's a bit hit or miss with that, but let's see. Okay, well, maybe I'll go over some of ways that people can find us online.
Sure.
So hope everyone was entertained.
I hope everybody had fun, right?
Yeah. So, the main thing is to kind of jump around. If for any reason your Firefly video isn't working, you can jump back and you can do your static image. And, maybe you do have to quit your Chrome browser or restart your computer because it did end up working at the end. But yeah, so just a reminder that the recording will be on my YouTube channel, which I'll get to in a second. But I wanted to give a shout out. So you can find Amybeth at learnadobe123.com.
Yep.
And then on LinkedIn, so linkedin.com /IN. So it's Amybeth Menendez 528-47812.
Yeah, I don't know where that number comes from, but
yeah,
I think
sometimes they just add it to you and there's can't really get rid of it, right?
Yeah.
So,
but I'm pretty active on LinkedIn, so people.
Nice.
Yeah, very active on LinkedIn.
And then, so where the recording will be, I'm also giving a shout out to ask you to subscribe for more Photoshop in Lightroom or Adobe Express and AI art, Adobe Firefly, static and video live events or digital art focused live streams and tutorials on my YouTube, youtube.com @Drew Kav. And that's youtube.com @Drew Kav. Or if you go to YouTube, just search for Drew Kav on YouTube. And then from there, I do say follow on Blue Sky, but I'm not even that active on Blue Sky.
Yeah, me neither. I know. There's too many things to keep up with.
Yeah, just Drew Kav on Blue Sky. But Facebook, consider following me to see my artwork and posting for live events. That is facebook.com /Andrew.Kavanagh. And then consider following, liking my digital artist Drew Kav page on Facebook, facebook.com /digital artist Drew. And then a little shout out to the groups. So consider joining the AI Art Digital Art Group, facebook.com /groups, AI Art Digital Art Group. And this group's starting to grow all of a sudden. So it's now like, I think, past 72,000 members,
Nice.
going on 73. And then there's the Photoshop and Lightroom group, facebook.com /groups, the Photoshop and Lightroom group, which is, I think, 391,000. So that bumped up 1,000 recently. It was stuck for a while. And yeah, it's always hard to gauge like group growth. You know, sometimes it could be quiet for a while and then all of a sudden it gains momentum. So thanks everyone for watching.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.
Yeah, so give Adobe Firefly a spin.
And we can't wait to see what you create. Post it on the Facebook pages.
All right. Keep an eye on our socials for posts about other live streams coming in the future.
Thanks,
everybody.
Have a good night.
Have a good one.